Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, 8:13 on the East Coast and 5:13 on the West Coast. One arrest made and at least two more are expected in connection with the death of a 20-year-old Southern University student after an off-campus fraternity hazing ritual. That is according to Baton Rouge police, and that is the victim right there on your screen. We know from officials, they said, quote, Caleb Wilson died as a direct result of a hazing incident where he was punched in the chest multiple times while pledging. Fraternity member Caleb McRae, 23 years old, arrested Thursday evening and faces charges of manslaughter and felony criminal hazing in the death of Wilson, a mechanical engineering junior at the school who died in late February. Baton Rouge police providing a news conference here where they did give some more information about the arrest and the situation in general.
Over the past several days, detectives with our Baton Rouge Police Department have been working tirelessly around the clock and with cooperation from the District Attorney's Office and leadership at Southern University to bring some answers to the family and loved ones of band member and engineering student Caleb Wilson. Detectives have interviewed over a dozen people and executed multiple search warrants to gather as much information as possible. As many of you know, Baton Rouge Police Department was first made aware of the death of Caleb Wilson by medical staff at Baton Rouge General Hospital on February 26th around 2:40 a.m. Initial reports indicated that Caleb Wilson was dropped off at the emergency room by a group of males that stated he collapsed while playing basketball at a Breck Park located at 3140 North Sherwood Forest Boulevard. All of those subjects left prior to officers' arrival. Through diligent efforts during their investigatory process, BRPD detectives uncovered that the location reported initially was not accurate, and that the alleged incident, in fact, occurred at a warehouse located at 3412 Woodcrest Drive. And Caleb Wilson died as the direct result of a hazing incident where he was punched in the chest multiple times while pledging to Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Through further investigation, BRPD detectives developed several suspects involved in the incident. This is still an active and ongoing investigation, so additional warrants and persons involved cannot be ruled out at this time. Last night, one of the suspects, Caleb McRae, turned himself in with his attorney and was booked into East Baton Rouge Parish Prison. McRae has been charged with criminal hazing and manslaughter. Again, this is still an active and ongoing investigation with more arrests forthcoming. We'll be updating the media and the community as these arrests occur. I ask that you all continue to keep this family in your prayers as our Baton Rouge Police Department continues to investigate and try to bring answers to this family about what happened to Caleb and arrest those that are responsible. Thank you. I'm going to have the Mayor President step up and give a few remarks. Mayor.
Good morning. I echo the chief. These are days and times that we don't want to have to deal with. I was blessed to meet the family. Had a private meeting with Caleb's mom, dad, grandma, and uncle. One of too many meetings I've had since I've been in office with young people that we're losing way too soon. The main message I want to put is from the mayor's office and the city of Baton Rouge's prayers for the family during this time. I want to thank Southern University, the chief, the district attorney, and everyone involved for their hard work. You know, my message to Baton Rouge is we got to do better, Baton Rouge. We got to do better. We feel like sometimes we take one step forward and two steps back. It's a sad day to use such a promising young life. And I encourage all the young people out there to make better decisions. So here again, we hate having these family meetings. We got to do better, Baton Rouge. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dennis Shields, and I serve as the president of Southern University System. Words cannot express how deeply saddened we are by the loss of our student, Caleb Wilson. Our collective thoughts and prayers continue to be with Caleb's family, friends, classmates, and all who knew and loved him. Southern University is very much appreciative of the efforts of the Baton Rouge Police Department under the leadership of Chief Morse and District Attorney Hilaire Moore, who are working diligently to pursue justice for Caleb. The university will continue to fully and actively cooperate with law enforcement as this case moves forward. Our internal investigation and code of conduct processes adjudicating these events are ongoing. The Baton Rouge campus chapter of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity has been ordered to cease all activities. As I just noted, student code of conduct judiciary proceedings are underway. Anyone and any student organization found to be in violation will face prompt disciplinary action. In addition, every campus Greek organization is being informed that no additional membership intake can occur for at minimum the remainder of the academic year. We place the quality of the experience our students have on our campus, and we have high standards for that. And we intend to preserve those standards and act expeditiously to resolve this matter such that nothing like this happens again in the future. Thank you.
All right, Shalom. Give it all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honor to our apostles, elders, and bishops here at Great Millstone for teaching this truth that's gone all around the earth. And Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. This is your brother Atazawan from the Great Millstone here in St. Louis. And we saw the news piece I had in the front of this lesson. And oddly enough, situations like this occur all the time, okay? And most of the time they don't really hit the media, all right? But this is not something new when it comes to these Greek fraternities, right, at these colleges, and in particular the HBCUs, all right? I can remember in past time, even myself when I attended one, later on in that year, that we had somewhat of a scandal at our campus, okay, dealing with the same fraternity and basically doing the same thing, all right, where they hazed the pledgee, all right, and broke his jaw in like 4 places, okay. So this thing with Jake in these Greek fraternities, it is, especially of those who consider themselves going on to higher learning, right? To do what? To be prosperous in today's world. You still have a lot of older Jakes who believe in that. And they join these fraternities, so-called for brotherhood, and really just to get a leg up in life, having connections and networking and this, that, and the third, all right? Which is the purpose of it. Okay, and a lot of the times, you'll have to deal with or hear about these types of stories. All right, this is not uncommon, especially again, like I said, when it comes to Jake. At these universities, they take a lot of pride in wearing the colors of the fraternity that they belong to. All right. Now, I myself never so-called pledged anything like that, simply because I'm not gonna let no group of men beat me up. Okay. You're gonna have a fight on your hands. That's how I thought about it in my young years as a young man, you can't, physically abuse me and then call me brother. All right, which is a bunch of, it's a bunch of BS. But anyway, we saw the piece, and it's a tragic thing. But like I said, it's not all that uncommon to hear about stories similar to this. All right, where people are injured very badly. All right, young men are injured very badly when they have this desire, overwhelming desire, to be a part of something. All right, I think it takes more courage to stand alone personally, but they do it for fame on campus, right, and for the girls. Okay, can't forget that part, But anyway, here's the written story here from AP. We'll read this story and then we'll get a few scriptures and shut it down. All right. So here you have, it says 2 more arrests in connection with Southern University fraternity hazing death. And we drop down here. It says New Orleans. 2 more arrests have been made in connection with the death of the 20-year-old Southern University student who was repeatedly punched during an off-campus fraternity hazing ritual, Baton Rouge police announced Tuesday. That was another thing, if I can remember correctly, because what I'm speaking about, it actually made Jet Magazine back in the 80s, like around 87, 88, somewhere in there like that. Okay. And, you can't do anything like that on campus. All right. Where you haze a pledgee, all right? So a lot of these places have, or these fraternities and schools have put their Greek organizations off the campus, okay? As is coined, getting put, kicked off the yard, so to speak, all right? And like I said, there are numerous lawsuits and cases that deal with this. All right, you can just go out there and look it up. But going on here, it says Kyle Thurman, 25, and Isaiah Smith, 28, have been arrested and face charges of felony criminal hazing for their role in the death of Caleb Wilson, a mechanical engineer junior at the school who died late February. Last week, police arrested Caleb McCray, 23, who faces charges of criminal hazing and manslaughter. He allegedly punched Wilson 4 times before the pledgee collapsed. Unresponsive and appeared to suffer a seizure, police said. Okay. It goes on, it says Smith was seen on surveillance video removing Wilson from his vehicle and bringing him to a hospital, according to a police arrest warrant affidavit reviewed by the Associated Press. The group that brought Wilson at the hospital initially told medical staff that Wilson collapsed while playing basketball at a park and left the hospital before police arrived. Baton Rouge Police Department Chief Thomas Morris Jr. told reporters last week. And I don't know why they would say something like that, because once they examine him, they're going to see the bruises. All right. But anyway, going on, it says Wilson died as a direct result. And you see they have that in quotes. All right, of the hazing, Morris Jr. said. Smith held the title Dean of Pledges and was in charge of the ritual, right, during the hazing. The affidavit said, Salakia states, he turned himself in on Tuesday, police said, or police say, okay? And you do have those people who, who are in these things and they're overzealous, man, and they sometimes they beat these, pledges to a pulp, man. Blacken their eyes, bust their lips, all that sort of thing. Okay. Smith's lawyer, Franz Borhardt, said it is important to note that Smith is not accused of making physical contact with Wilson and that no one was aware of any underlying medical conditions he may have had. This, quote, this was a freak accident. We're not talking about force feeding alcohol, end quote, which that's not true either. It's not a freak accident because it happens a lot. Okay. Borhart said, to be sure everyone in that fraternity cares about Caleb, our hearts go out to the Wilson family. And see, that right there to me is just bullshit, because if you're gonna haze somebody that way, where you physically are beating on them, that's that's not a freak accident. That's intended, okay? And then how do you call a man a brother after he broke your jaw, right? Or bruised you up, knocked your teeth out? See, that shit in HBCUs is wicked. Well, I don't know what goes on any other type of college campus that's not a HBCU, but I know this is heavy. Hazing is heavy, okay, at these HBCUs. All right. Both Smith and Thurman participated in punching some of the 9 pledgees, but they are not described as hitting Wilson, according to police arrest warrant affidavits. Smith's father, Todd Smith, runs a flooring company where the hazing incident occurred. Borhart said Todd Smith did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Thurman could not be reached for comment. Police and court officials are not able to provide information for his legal representation. McCrae's lawyer, Philip Robinson, said he is innocent and urged the public to withhold judgment. In Louisiana, hazing can be a felony under the Max Groover Act, which passed in 2018 and was named after the Louisiana State University student who died of alcohol poisoning after hazing at the Phi Delta Theta fraternity house. Under the act, if a person being hazed dies or is seriously injured, violators face up to a $10,000 fine and 5 years in prison. Organizations, representatives, and officers of any organization's educational institutions can also face penalty. The fraternity Wilson was pledging, Omega Psi Phi, could face civil penalties under the act. A fraternity spokesperson said it is cooperating with authorities. The fraternity's campus chapter has been ordered to cease activities, and Greek life organizations have been barred from taking on new members for the remainder of the academic year, Southern University President Dennis Shields told reporters last week. Hundreds of people turned out in early March for a vigil in honor of Wilson, a passionate trumpet player in the university's famed band, right? Southern is known for its band, as well as others, FAMU, Norfolk State. They're amongst the top black college bands, if you will. Okay, sad story. You see the family there. But at the same time, you have to say what the prophets of the Lord are on the street. Okay, all over the country, including Baton Rouge. All right. So the prophets have been speaking, and the words of the Lord through the prophets, being spoken out there on the highways and hedges, all right, fall upon deaf ears, man. Because Jake wants fame and notoriety, okay? And I'm going to get a few scriptures here in a second, but I want to show you this for those out there who don't know what this is about, all right? Here are some of the notable Omega Psi Phi men, or Qs, okay? Jesse Jackson, Joe Torre, Steve Harvey, Michael Jordan, Roy Wilkins, Shaquille O'Neal, Tom Joyner, Vernon Jordan. I don't know if Vernon Jordan's still alive or not. Bill Cosby, Ricky Smiley, Clifford Alexander, Count Basie, Langston Hughes, Vince Carter, William Hasty, Charlie Ward, Ed Jones, right? Nathaniel Bronner, right? I think he's the man that started Bronner hair care products. Okay, Steve McNair, Charles Drew, Earl G. Graves, who was a big time so-called black millionaire businessman. Okay, George L.P. Weaver, and then Douglas Wilder, who was I think he was governor of Virginia back in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, somewhere in there like that. All right, but you see, these are all Jakes. All right, this is one of the top fraternities right? And so young men go into this, aspire to be like these types of people, okay? And let's just say what it is. You know, the truth is it's not sexy to people of the world, all right? And so, as the men of the Lord preach in these last days, you know, it's not appealing to a lot of jakes. And, you know, the Lord just brings judgment, okay? So this is Ecclesiasticus 5, all right? And we start right here, verse 1. It says, set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not that I have enough for my life. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart, right? Your mind, all the things that you desire and see yourself in and having and being a part of, okay? Now, outside of this truth, man, this truth is where you need to be hid, okay? But because things are so attractive, you know, to Jake out there, things of the world, you know, they garner those things. They want to be a part of those things because it may bring them fame, it may bring them popularity, it may bring them different opportunities for jobs, promotions, and so on. All right, because when you look at these Greek fraternities, they're just lesser luminaries and under the, you know, the old guard of what they would call the Masons and so on. Okay, the Boule. Okay. Verse 3, and say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. Salakia. Verse 4, say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? Right, nobody's innocent. I may have to get that scripture if I can remember, Lord's will. All right, nobody's innocent, though he may have been, you know, a young man, you know, with a bright mind and had dreams and plans and so on, but nobody's innocent, you know. You have to understand that, okay? So the Lord may pass judgment at any time. Going on, verse 4, say not I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long-suffering. He will in no wise let thee go. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin to sin, right? And so, you know, there's a lot of different things that go on in those fraternities, right? They have secret handshakes and this and that and so on. Okay, they have what they call so-called Hell Week, right? Where they put the pledgees through hell and make them do all types of crazy, weird things. All right, to show what? To pledge to this imaginary God that they, you know, want to be a part of, okay? You know, there's another particular fraternity that they say they have to cross the burning sands, okay? So these are all rituals, okay, outside of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay? Verse 6, and say not, his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins, for mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation rested upon sinners, right? So if you're not prayed up, if you haven't repented, and, you know, doesn't matter if you're 20 years old and you're an engineer student and you're bright and so on, if you haven't repented unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, anybody can be taken out. Anybody can be judged by the Lord, okay? Verse 7, which is the point, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly, how soon? Suddenly. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. And that young man had no idea that that would be his last night upon the earth, more than likely, right? I mean, that's safe to say. This is Jeremiah 44, and we'll start here at the top, all right? And it reads, the word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, that dwell at Migdal and Tahaphanes, Tapanes, and at Nopah, and in the country of Pathros, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah, and behold, this day they are desolation, and no man dwelleth therein, because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods, whom they knew not, neither they, yea, nor their fathers. Right? And in ancient time, there was no such thing as no Greek fraternity called Omega Psi Phi. Okay, where you pledging to a deity. Just call it what it is. Okay, in a Greek fashion. All right, that's what the whole New Testament about, and Paul, the Apostle Paul, right, talking to the Israelites to come out of those Greekish ways, right? Branding yourselves, because that's a big thing. All right, and that particular fraternity itself, well, all of them really. But they proudly brand their pledges, you know. I guess some can opt not to have it, maybe, or get a tattoo of it, but a lot of them get branded, man. It's branded into their skin, you know. And you know, Jake got keloid skin, man. That thing gonna bubble up and it's gonna stand out, and they're proud about that. Okay. Going on to verse 4, it says, howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods, right? So you making a pledge, all right? All right, you won't even give your life over to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the truth, all right? But you see that there's some value in pledging to some Greek fraternity. This is Isaiah 55, and we start right here, verse 6. It says what? Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. So young people out there, you're supposed to be seeking the Lord now, right? You're not, for you young women out there as well. You know, you ain't supposed to be trying to join some sorority, the Deltas, the AKAs, right? All of them, okay? And those who go into the Masonic orders, right? You got, I forget what they call them. I forget what they call them on the women's side. It's slipping my mind. Okay, Eastern Stars. I think that's what they call them, all right? You're not supposed to be a part of any of them things, okay? Verse 7, let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Right? So you're supposed to be seeking mercy from the Lord, right? Not worried about pledging some Greek fraternity so you can walk around with a colorful sweater on, right? And then what happens later on down the road, if you survive it, then you become later on the bully that beats up the pledges. Well, they did it to me, so I'm going to do it to you. You see? Verse 8, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. Right? You're supposed to trust in the Lord, you know, but again, this is for notoriety, for fame, for women, right? For networking, for opportunities, and so on. Okay? Verse 9, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. You see, the Lord is on a much higher level, and when you get this wisdom, you'll have the wisdom that the world doesn't have. Okay, this is a much higher wisdom than what you could ever achieve in some fraternity. Okay, because basically they don't do shit but go sell tickets for boat rides and parties. That's all they do. Okay. Verse, this is James 5 and verse 7. And it reads, be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain, right? Like a farmer who plants his seed, right? You got to have patience for the growth. You got to trust the process, all right? Verse 8, be ye also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. Right, this is what you're supposed to be involved in, waiting for the coming of the Lord. Okay, and be patient for it. Okay, you're not going to miss anything from being a part of this world. Okay, You got the kingdom that's on its way where you could live forever, all right? Or where we're going to live forever and have everything we could ever imagine, okay? But Jake is looking for temporary, satisfaction, okay? Getting it through the ways of the world. Verse 9, grudge not one against another, brethren, lest ye be condemned. Behold, the judge standeth before the door. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. And quite frankly, Jake doesn't want to suffer. Jake wants everything now on this side. Okay? They want to be famous. They want the notoriety. They want the money, right? They want the top elite job positions. Okay? You want to be well known. Going on to verse 11, it reads, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy. But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath, right? Because when you are a pledgee, you take an oath, right? And I believe that particular fraternity's oath is Omega Psi Phi until the day I die. All right? Or something to that effect. All right? Above, Salakia, verse 12 again. But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath. All right? Don't take no pledge. Okay? But let your yea be yea, and your nay be nay, lest ye fall into condemnation. Right? So those people who belong to these different fraternities, sororities, all these boule secret societies, and so on and so forth, right? Essentially, all they are the Greeks that came back. Essentially, that's all it is. The same spirits that were in that Greek fashion that refused to repent, they're the same people that you find today in these Greek organizations who will not, walk away from it. They won't renounce it. They won't denounce it, right? You go visit their house and their whole basement is filled with all that stuff in it, right? Because that means more to them. And then they always like to play like they're so godly, like they're doing some things for the Most High, all right? So anyway, that's going to do it for the lesson. Like I said, it is a tragic thing. Oh, I think I said I wanted to get, is it Job? 9:24. I think is what I said. No, that wasn't it. What was it? What did I say I want? Salakia. Is it Job 4:7? Can't remember what I said. Yes, that's it. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or wherever the righteous cut off. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. So yeah, nobody perishes, nobody leaves this earth without the Lord's okay, all right, because he passed the sentence on a person, okay? And that's just what it is, believe it or not. Okay, the scriptures bear it out and tell you all judgment is carried out by the Heavenly Father. All right, He gives the okay, He gives the nod on it. All right, so this has been another story of what? Don't tarry to turn to the Lord. All right, putting that off from day to day, because suddenly will that judgment come. All right, with that, I'll end the lesson. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Shalom.